we have a panoramic view of Crater Lake.
This is incredible.
I don't think there could be a better sunrise view. Let's go.
We're Jess and Miles. In 2019, we quit our jobs to pursue a dream of long-term travel around the world. After traveling for 6 months, we were brought back to the US due to COVID-19. We are back on the road here in the United States. After making our way down the 363 miles of the Oregon coast, we have made a detour inland to our final stop here in Oregon.
Today is Friday afternoon and we are here in Crater Lake National Park. This is actually the 9th national park we have visited on this road trip, and it is one that I've wanted to see for many years now, so I am so excited to be here. And today is actually October 30th, and they'll be closing down the Rim Drive tomorrow night. So we are literally here just in time, and we have this afternoon and tomorrow to explore before they start closing things down.
In fact, only twice in the last 10 years has the entire Rim Drive been open this late in the year, so we feel very lucky. It's pretty windy, but other than that, it's a perfect sunny day. And since it's already 2 p.m. and we've only got a few hours until sunset, we're dedicating the entire afternoon to the Rim Drive. We figured it would be a great introduction to the park, and then we plan to do some hiking tomorrow. So we came in through the north entrance, and we're getting started here at Palisade Point. The Rim Drive is a 33-mile road with over 30 different stops and pullouts along the way, and we're gonna head counterclockwise so we end on the east side for sunset.
This really is so beautiful, and it's so much bigger than I had imagined. I read that the lake is 5 miles wide, and it is surrounded by cliffs that are up to 2,000 feet above the lake in some places.
We've obviously seen a ton of pictures of this lake online, and it's hard to believe that this deep blue color is actually what it looks like in real life, and it truly is. And from what we understand, it's because the only water source for this lake is either rainfall or snowmelt, so there's nothing bringing any sediment in from the outside, so it's one of the cleanest and clearest lakes on the planet. Okay, so it's been well over an hour, and we've only made it about 8 miles along the rim. We've just come to Watchmen's Overlook, and it is amazing what just an hour and a half or so will do. When we first got here, it was crystal blue skies, hardly a cloud in the sky, and this wind has just blown in a full blanket of clouds over the lake.
So at the deepest point, Crater Lake is nearly 2,000 feet deep. This makes it the deepest lake in the United States and the 9th deepest lake in the world. And it sits here inside this huge volcanic crater that was created when Mount Mazama erupted and collapsed nearly 8,000 years ago.
And here at Watchmen Overlook, we get a great view of Wizard Island, which has been created from subsequent eruptions, and it's really cool to see this small little volcano inside this huge caldera.
Also, tomorrow morning for sunrise, we plan to hike up to Watchman's Peak, which is just up there.
So we'll be back tomorrow.
So we'll be back tomorrow.
But right now, we still have a lot of the Rim Drive left to do before sunset. And it's already almost 4:30.
It feels like winter has arrived. Oh my gosh, it's so cold.
This really has been a great drive so far. I will say the road doesn't always follow right along the edge of the caldera. A fair amount of it's actually through the trees, but there have been beautiful views in every direction along this drive.
We have made it to the Cap Overlook, which is the highest point on the Rim Drive, and also where we will be watching the sunset. Most likely from the car, because it is 40 degrees outside and oh so windy.
7:15 in the morning, and we have made it to the top of Watchmen Peak for sunrise, and it is unbelievable.
It really is incredible up here. We have about 25 minutes until sunrise, and the sky is lighting up. We have a panoramic view of Crater Lake.
This is incredible.
I don't think there could be a better sunrise view.
It's such a stark contrast from yesterday for sunset with 30-mile-an-hour winds just on the other side of the lake. It is so peaceful. We're the only ones up here. It's so special to be up here on the last day that the park is open.
This is amazing.
This is a gift. That was an incredible sunrise, and now we're hiking down to the car.
That was such a stark contrast to last night when we got completely engulfed in a cloud at sunset.
No kidding.
It is so clear today. That was the perfect start to the day. This hike is 0.8 miles each way, so highly recommend coming up here for sunrise. I was just telling Miles, and then he pulls out the camera, but I have never regretted getting up for the sunrise. It's going to be hard to beat that hike for sunrise, but we have a couple more short hikes planned for today, starting with Garfield Peak, which is about 3.4 miles round trip with 1,000 feet of elevation gain. Let's go!
We're just making our way up the switchbacks. We're probably about halfway up. The trail's honestly pretty gradual, but it's definitely got a consistent incline. And we're enjoying the shade of the mountain for now, which is pretty nice. It's nice and cool. And look at these views. This lake is incredible. We have made it to the top, and this has definitely got to be one of the best viewpoints that we've been to so far. It's nice to get up away from the road a little bit and to have such a high vantage point over the lake. It's not the highest though, that would be Mount Scott, and we do plan to do that after lunch this afternoon. But we're probably going to hang out here for a little bit before we head back down to the car. That's Mount Scott.
Mount Scott! This really is an amazing view of the lake, and now that the sun is up higher in the sky and it's shining down on the water, the blue color is just as vivid and intense as it was yesterday. Not only do we have an awesome view of the lake, but we have 360-degree views from up here. But now it's time to start heading back down to the car, and we're gonna find a picnic spot for lunch.
That was a great picnic, and we've got one final hike planned for this afternoon. Unfortunately, Cleetwood Cove, which is the only trail that leads down to the lake, is closed for the rest of the season for maintenance. So we definitely have to come back at some point in order to get down to the lake.
They also typically do boat tours around the lake, but I believe that has been closed this season due to COVID. So I would love to come back sometime during the summer to be able to go swimming, go on one of the boat tours. It also seems like there's a lot to do here during the winter months. Even though the rim drive is closed to cars, there's snow skiing and snowmobiling. That would be really fun, and I would love to see this lake covered in a blanket of snow.
No kidding.
So we will definitely have to come back, but for now we're going to go climb the highest peak.
It's 12:45 and we've come just up the road to the Mount Scott Trailhead. It's about a 5-mile hike with roughly 1,200 feet of elevation gain. And like we said before, this is the highest point in the park, so it's the perfect way to round out our trip here.
It was a pretty steady incline around the backside of the mountain, and now it looks like we're going to be switchbacking it up to the top. I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling this elevation. We have not been at this high of elevation in quite some time, and our Colorado lungs left us a while ago.
No kidding.
We're gonna be getting up to nearly 9,000 feet today. We are almost to the top. The lake has come into full view, and the old fire lookout is just up the ridge.
We have made it to the top, 8,900 feet, and yet another spectacular view of Crater Lake. If you're looking for those dramatic views right on the edge of the caldera down on the lake, Garfield Peak is probably the better option for that, but this has such a unique perspective. Step back away from the lake, we can see the entire caldera from almost a bird's eye view, and I'm pretty sure this is the only place in the park that offers this kind of viewpoint.
I know we have said it 100 times, but we feel so lucky to be able to visit this park before things started closing down. I had so much fun yesterday just driving around on the Ridge Drive, but if you've watched any of our other videos, you know that we love hiking, and this park really rewards you for putting in just a little bit of extra effort. Today really has been the perfect day, and now our next stop is California.
One of these days that little G7X is just going to go tumbling down a mountain. Will you show the camera your tripod? Do you have a little rock?
I don't have a tripod yet. Tripod. We have made it to Red Cloud.
It's so cool.